back to my channel, and for today's video I'm going to be sharing an eye tutorial with you guys, and this is an eye tutorial that I'm really excited about showing you guys. It's obviously going to be on this eye look that I've created right now. I don't know if you guys can see that really well, but I'm going to be showing you guys how I did it, and I absolutely am obsessed with this eye look for the fall. I don't know what it is, but it's mainly like having a middle color that it's light, makes it pop, and then you have like the darker colors on each side of the lid to give it some like dimension and depth. It's super easy, but it looks very detailed, and I love pairing it with a darker lip. I'm super excited to be showing you guys this, of course, but I'm also super excited that I'm going to be showing you guys a tutorial using the Morphe 350 palette, and this I have been waiting for. I know it has been kind of a challenge to get this palette, and I'm so excited that I finally got my hands on it. And when I saw that it finally arrived, I was actually just getting home from the gym, and I was like, oh my gosh, is this a palette? Because I was just thinking about this palette this morning. But the colors in it are phenomenal. They are definitely a lot more like amazing in person. I've seen this palette on videos and in pictures, and I'm just like, wow, I definitely need this palette, but seeing it in person is a whole like new level. It definitely is everything. Just look at these colors. Absolutely love that there is a pretty good amount of matte shades. I do love the matte shades and using them as transition shades and stuff like that. The first time I saw this palette, I knew I definitely had to have it in my collection. I can see myself creating many different looks, and this is not just a palette to use for the fall. It definitely has very earthy tones and warm tones, and you can just use this for everyday makeup looks. I guess that is everything that I did want to mention for right now. So let me stop rambling, and I'm just going to jump right into this tutorial. As you can see, my face is kind of a hot mess right now. I have a lot going on, but it's okay, we're going to get through this together. I do have some baking action going on, and I do have a video about how I bake and my routine for that, so I can link that down below if you are interested in watching it. But while we let that whole baking process just sit and kind of set, I'm going to just start on this side. As you can tell, I've already finished this side, and I kind of like sweeped the whole baking powder. I sweeped all that underneath the under eye so I can put the shadow on my lower lash line. So we're just going to start off with this. I'll be priming my eyes with Jessie's Girls Primer. I'm going to just dot that on. Let me zoom you guys in to this side so you're not distracted by my whole face. I'm just going to be working this mainly on the upper lid. Starting off with the brow highlight, and I'm going to be dipping into this shade, and I'm just going to highlight my brow bone and above the brow as well. For above the brow, I'm not going to dip into any product. I'm just going to use whatever is left on the brush, so it doesn't look super intense and won't be a pain to blend out with my finger. I'm going to be dipping into this matte peachy shade and applying that as a transition. Start from the top and then bring it over and just really blend that shade out. I'm going to take the shade right next to it with the same brush. Kind of start blending that in between the transition and the highlight, just to give it more of a gradient transition effect. Into this really pretty shimmer shade, and start packing that on the middle of my lid. And you guys, this shadow is absolutely gorgeous. It's so pigmented, it just makes my eye pop. Then I'm going to be dipping into this reddish terracotta matte shade. Focus that on the inner part as well as the outer part. Just going to be like packing that around the V area, kind of make sure that it hits the crease and not kind of bring it too far out, but just enough to where you can see the dimension start to form. take a blending brush and kind of just blend out the area, kind of make sure that there's no super harsh lines, of course. I'm just going to dip into this really pretty burnt orange shimmer shade. This is another color that I absolutely love. As you can see, I applied that really light shimmer shade in the middle, and then I'm going to apply this burnt orange shimmer shade just in the center. It's just like kind of dabbed right into the center, so I'm just going to do that with this eye, just enough to make it pop. You're not going to want to cover it completely because you also want to see the shimmer on both sides from that lighter shade. It's going to look something like that. Into the darkest shade in the palette. I'm going to focus more on the edge of this eye. We're not going to go all the way down here. We're just going to focus up here. It's going to give it like kind of like a gradient look. And then we're going to do the same here. We're just going to mainly focus on the crease and just bring it down. We're not going to go on the outer part right here. This helps with like giving your eyes some depth, which we're trying to do with this look. And then of course just blend it out. Go into the lighter shimmer shade. I'm just going to repack the area that you can just see. I'm not going to go over that burnt copper orange shade. That would make no sense if we just covered it back up. And I'm just going to hit up the center of my lid again. Make it pop. So now that my eyelid is pretty much completed, this is the step where I'm going to start putting shadow on my lower lash line. So I'm just going to brush off the banana powder. Dip into this shade. Start smudging that on my lower lash line. Lighter shade, applying that kind of below the shadow that I just put on the lower lash line to kind of let it blend evenly. Now to curl the lashes and apply some mascara and false lashes. I'm using Maybelline's Rocket Volume for the first coat. And now I'm going to be lining my upper waterline with this German eyeliner. I actually included this in my last month's favorites, I believe. My ring finger fits into this highlighting shade right here and just place that in my inner corners. I like using my finger sometimes because it kind of like warms up the shadow and it makes it super pigmented, and I love super pigmented inner corner looks. It just makes the whole look come together and it makes it pop. For the lashes, I'm using Ardell's Demi in Black. I have the ones right here. I'm going to be applying those ones, but yeah, this is what I'm going to be using. Usually, I always notice that I forget to tell you guys what I'm using for lashes, and sometimes I just honestly don't even remember. Usually they're always Demi Wispies from Ardell or Salon Perfect. Those are like my absolute favorites. As we let that get tacky, I am going to apply some mascara on my bottom lashes and probably just blend out the rest of the areas that I baked. Lashes and everything's pretty much completed with the eyes. I'm going to be applying on some lipstick, and I'm going to be using Jordana's lipstick, and this is in the shade Blackberry, and this is absolutely one of my favorite fall shades. And here's the final look. everything for this video. If you guys have any questions about any of the products that I've used and mentioned, then just comment down below and let me know what's up. Like this video if you found it helpful, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, there's my Twitter, my Facebook page, my Instagram, and vlogging channel around this area, so definitely go check that out, and I'll have all the links down below as well. Thank you so much for watching, ladies, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!